Great leaders ignite a spark inside their staff. It's why Primetime's movement's so strong. The key is to challenge your employees without belittling them. You give them a purpose, create an environment where people want to show up for work. So when we learned that 92% of Kamala's staff quit, it raised red flags. How could she lead millions of Americans if she can't even lead 50? Gil Duran, who worked for Kamala when she was Attorney General of California, said the experience was unbearable. She was, quote, impossible to manage and took out all of her stress on her staff, usually women and lower-level employees. Gil quit just 5 months into the job. Last straw, Kamala skipped out on a briefing and went berserk on a staff member to the point of tears because she was unprepared. And that tracks with what an unnamed White House staffer told the author, Chris Whipple, in his book,
Can you guys hear me? I hope you guys can hear me. So that was a hot start. I hope you guys smash the like button right away. We got a lot of things to talk about. Let's continue the video.
The fight of his life. They told him Kamala, quote, refused to do the kind of preparation that you need to do before going public on a hardcore policy matter. And then she became incensed and outraged when things wouldn't go the way she thought they were supposed to go. Even the interns weren't safe from Kamala's ire. Terry McKeeter, whose son spent months in Kamala's Attorney General's office, said she turned his kid's internship into a summer from hell. He says the interns were told to stand and say, "Good morning, General," when Kamala walked into the room. And they were told to never, ever address Kamala or even look her in the eyes. That privilege is for senior staff only. Kamala also had a filthy mouth and never met with the interns because staffers were too afraid to introduce them, probably for the best. Look, everybody's had a bad boss at one point or the other, but usually that boss doesn't become president. If 92% of a company's workforce quit, would you keep the CEO? So why would we make Kamala America's CEO? Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary is here. Kevin, when you see someone with staff turnover at 92%, what does that tell you about them?
Well, I have to ask myself, is that true? Because that's an extraordinary number. You're wiping out your entire staff. Obviously a problem there. But this narrative going on with Kamala Harris now is very interesting. I look at it through the perspective of an investor. I'm going to give you some anecdotal data from this morning.
Kevin O'Leary is 1,000% going to vote for Trump. What do you guys think? I think he's going to vote for Trump.
You might find interesting. When we syndicate debt for real estate projects, we don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. So I deal with a lot of investors, agnostic to politics, and some of them are very big contributors to the Democratic Party. I heard for the first time today, because we like to talk about politics, mostly on policy, and what he said to me was, some of us are having some buyer's remorse. We wish we'd run a process because we got so much press in the first 9 days of bringing somebody into the party and raised 200 million plus, which is like a balloon underwater.
Is this what they're calling the honeymoon phase? What happens when the honeymoon phase phases out?
It just wasn't Biden, so they started contributing. But we gave up 5 weeks of fantastic social media in guessing who really should be the candidate. Now, I hadn't heard that before. It's not that many. I'd guess 20% or something like that. But so that's starting to crack a little bit. And there is precedence for what's going on here. I ask everybody to look north to Canada. When a young Justin Trudeau swept in, nobody cared about his executional skills or what he'd ever done or anything. They just thought he was the it guy. Look at the country now. It's wiped out. And because it turns out the guy had no executional skills. It would be important to leave aside the politics and ask, what has Kamala Harris actually done, actually achieved? Because if I was hiring her, and I'm not trying to be partisan, I would ask her, what was a goal? What did you achieve? Because any governor or any senator that would put into presidential viability would have a history, a track record of doing stuff.
What do you think she would say, Kevin, if you asked her in an interview straight up, Kamala, what's your biggest accomplishment? What would she say?
I don't know, because I don't know of one, but I can tell you this: in the next
Okay, they got me there. I thought he was gonna say it.
2 weeks, the happy talk is going to have to stop, because someone's going to sit her down and say, let's talk inflation. Let's talk border. Let's talk policy on energy. Let's talk policy on foreign affairs. And if she doesn't deliver on that with the new vision towards the center, the guy that said, I wish we'd run a process is going to be right. If she wants to win, she's got to go to the center, but she's got to have some ideas on how to run the country. You might hate Trump, but he has this track record of policy. You might hate him. I get it. But, you got to do something.
No tax on tips, border wall, tax reductions, stop the wars. I mean, you can nail it. I don't know what she wants. I just know she wants.
Yep. Yeah, this is so true. I mean, everything that we are discussing nowadays is literally about Kamala. Like, well, at least what I'm hearing from Democrats is that Kamala, she's just not Trump. She's just not Trump. Well, apparently, James O'Keefe from the O'Keefe Media Group, formerly he was on Project Veritas. You guys know him. He apparently is talking to a DNC manager, as he normally does. And this video is actually insane. The title of this video is DNC manager says, I don't think Kamala Harris would win, admits to empty promises to donors. Take a listen.
I like Kamala Harris, but I don't think she'd win this year.
Meet Joyce DeSears, he, him, the compliance manager to the DNC.
What's your official title?
Ah, yes, he, him. Yes. You guys, what are your guys' pronouns? Mine's are Z, she, he, fe, Z, him. Let me know if you like that.
Compliance manager. My specific job, like the end all be all of my job, is reporting to the government how much the DNC raised and where it spent its money.
Saying that she doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of.
She's weirdly unpopular. She doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of because she's vice president.
Joyce DeSears revealed how the DNC gains donations and what tactics they use, including just telling donors what they want them to hear.
When I was doing finance, like fundraising, we just call it finance and politics, you kind of tell a donor what they want to hear.
Which is what?
Whatever they want to hear.
DeSears admits to the OMG citizen journalist American Swiper, you kind of tell a donor just what they want to hear.
You just put on a performance spread and a little show, right?
You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right?
So basically, we're just feeding into their fantasy.
Yeah. Which, you ever met a rich person? They want their fantasy to be, fed it.
So we just take their money and we smile and nod our head, but we don't really take their opinions into our strategy.
100%.
So some donors are holding back on writing the checks because they think that the campaign's not doing well. Why would they think that?
I don't know, a lot of people think we should attack Trump more.
We should attack Trump more.
Yeah.
Do you
Whoa. A lot of people think we should just keep attacking Trump more.
A lot of people think we should attack Trump more.
We should attack Trump more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like our strategy has always been just take their money and tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's politics.
There's always been an artifice that pervades our politics in this country, with people never willing to say out loud what the truth is. And the political marketing industry, masquerading as journalists, participate in that lie. But every once in a while, we manage to catch them being honest. And when we do, they tell you the truth, what they really think, what they really believe, what they won't say in public for reasons that are themselves important. And they tell you things like this.
And what's your official title?
Compliance manager.
You're the only person.
Yeah. I don't manage.
How do you get people to agree to this? What is it? What is it about somebody that you get to agree to come on? Was it a Tinder date? What is it? You get their number or something? How does this work?
Anyone.
I mean, you manage compliance. That's huge, right? I mean, there's a lot of legality involved, I imagine.
I can't say I manage the compliance department because I don't. There's no department to manage. I manage me.
And remind me what compliance means again.
It's pretty much an accounting function. It's kind of like where accounting and legal meet. So it's
So you report.
yeah, my specific job, like the end all be all of my job, is reporting to the government how much the DNC raised and where it spent its money. And Joe Biden's campaign right now, because they don't have anyone doing that for them. So
Also, you're doing it for both the DNC and the Biden campaign.
yeah.
Meet Joyce DeSears, he, him, the compliance manager to the DNC in the former Biden campaign, now the Kamala Harris campaign. DeSears, as stated on his LinkedIn, is a, quote, political operations expert with experience in people and culture, financial operations, and compliance. DeSears divulged further into what his role description is for the DNC, the former Biden campaign, and now the Kamala Harris campaign. In today's rapidly evolving healthcare landscape and mysterious shortages of medical supplies, being proactive about your health across the country are just a few short months away from electing a new president of the United States in what has already been an insane campaign cycle, and the election is just around the corner. Here at OMG, we decided to investigate and found ourselves looking into the Democratic National Committee, the Joe Biden campaign, and now the Kamala Harris presidential campaign. Let's dive right in. Joyce DeSears, the DNC compliance manager, met our OMG American Swiper on the dating app Bumble.
Oh, wow. Wait, he's not gay? Bumble. They got him from Bumble.
DNC compliance manager met our OMG American Swiper on the dating app Bumble, where they met on multiple occasions. He spoke to the journalist about the DNC, Vice President Harris, President Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden. Recently, Vice President Kamala Harris has launched her campaign for President of the United States. What does the DNC compliance manager, Joyce DeSears, he, him, think of Kamala running? Well, he confided to our OMG journalist about the fears of the vice president losing to Donald Trump, revealing Kamala Harris has no accomplishments to run on, saying, quote, I don't think Kamala Harris would win this year, and saying that she doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of. He even goes so far as to say that Kamala Harris won't win even if she ran in 2028.
I like Kamala Harris, but I don't think she'd win this year.
Why?
She's weirdly unpopular. I think a lot of that is racism and misogyny. And the vice president's so easy to attack, right? She doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of because she's vice president. She doesn't make laws. Her job is to become president if Joe Biden does. And a lot of the time, the vice president, whoever they are, gets sent to do the hard stuff. So, yeah.
So why do you think she's constantly getting attacked?
Honestly, if you look at the stuff people attack her with, it is a bunch of racist, sexist bullshit. Like, it's just stuff you wouldn't say about a man. People call her Dixie.
It's truly shocking what people admit when you use a hidden camera. The undercover cameras you've seen us use in the past are now available for sale. Go to our website.
James O'Keefe with the plug.
Employees are acknowledging she cannot win due to her unpopularity and lack of accomplishment.
Whoa, did we just get $100? Shayla just sent $100 donation. Thank you.
Recall the video that I did undercover, sitting across the table from someone in the executive office of the White House.
Same thing with Kamala Harris. She's not popular, but you can't remove the first black lady to be vice president from the goddamn presidential ticket. She can't keep black staff. They quit on her in mass.
Just a short time ago, Vice President Kamala Harris launched her presidential bid and raised $81 million in 24 hours, according to an Axios report. Joyce DeSears revealed how the DNC gains donations and what tactics they use, including just telling donors what they want them to hear and playing into what DeSears calls Democratic donors' fantasies in order to get more money.
When I was doing finance, like fundraising, we just call it finance and politics, you kind of tell a donor what they want to hear.
Which is what?
Whatever they want to hear. They tell you what they tell you what they want to hear, and then they say, what do you think?
Give me an example.
You know, we really need to spend more attacking Trump.
Sure.
You need to get up on stage and you need to talk about all the things Trump is saying. And then you say,
Interesting. So that's donors are telling. So in order to get donor money, specifically in this situation, he's explaining how some donors are telling Democrats to make sure that they attack Trump more and say what Trump is saying. No policy, nothing. Just attack Trump on what he's saying.
You know, we really need to spend more attacking Trump.
Sure.
You need to get up on stage and you need to talk about all the things Trump is saying. And then you say, I completely agree. And President Biden is going to be doing that. Here's 3 examples where he did it. And if we have 25K, we can spend money on making sure that happens. Can you give 25K? And he's like, I don't know. And you're like, well, you know, Biden actually has an event coming up. I could relay your concerns to him. You know what? Yeah, I'll give 50K. Okay. But then donor says, you're doing way too many TV ads, you know, like TV doesn't change votes, you know, that nobody watches cable anymore. Well, that's why we're hiring so many organizers in all these states. The organizers cost money. And so just a single organizer's salary is $41,000 a year. And we got to hire a lot if we really want to beat Trump and be competitive and say, what state are you from again? Florida? We need to really have a lot of organizers if we want to beat Trump in Florida. In fact, we're opening up a field office right there in Tampa. It's going to cost a lot. Can you give 100K?
Dang, you're good.
I'm
ready to write a check to you.
You tell people exactly what they want to hear, though.
He's gassing him up, though. That's funny. Like, you see the way she did that? She's actually pretty good at that. She's just like, you're really good. Because he probably thinks he's gonna get some after this, right? This is why he's spilling the beans, because he met up with this girl who, you know, he thinks he's having a date with, and she's just gassing him up, like, yeah, my love, you're gonna get laid tonight.
Dang, you're good.
I'm
ready to write a check to you.
You tell people exactly what they want to hear, though.
DeSears admits to the OMG citizen journalist American Swiper, you kind of tell a donor just what they want to hear. You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right?
Do you feel like our strategy has always been just take their money and tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's politics.
That's what?
That's politics.
That's politics? So we just take their money and we smile and nod our head, but we don't really take their opinions into our strategy?
100%.
So basically we're just feeding into their fantasy.
Yeah. Which, you ever met a rich person?
No.
That's their MO.
What?
They want their fantasy to be, you know, fed. You just put on a performance for them, a little show, right? Judith Butler calls this phantasm.
Phantasm.
Yeah, it's this kind of cognitive dissonance of just imagining something that truly isn't.
So some donors are holding back on writing the checks because they think that the campaign's not doing well. Why would they think that?
I don't know, a lot of people think we should attack Trump more.
We should attack Trump more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like our strategy has always been just take their money and tell them what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's politics.
So there you have it. DeSears sings like a canary about how he uses facades to play to donors' fantasies, utilizing deception. It's on full display over at the DNC. But it begs the question, what else is the DNC doing to trick their donors or voters? How many other people agree with this man? In fact, how many people disagree with him? Really? And why are they telling donors what they want to hear? Why aren't they telling them the truth? Why are they performing these bait and switch techniques? On top of all of this, our OMG American Swiper asked Joyce DeSears about President Biden and his struggles with donors, which corroborates reports in the media that have stated Biden was, in fact, struggling with campaign donations.
So do you think it was a mistake that President Biden agreed to debate Trump?
No, because I think it was a good thing on Biden's part, because he would have had to debate Trump anyway, just politically. He would have had to.
I mean, I just imagine how he does in the debate's going to influence how donors decide whether they're going to continue to back him, right?
For sure. Yeah, we've had people who haven't wanted to give us money because they think the campaign is not doing well enough, or Biden isn't being strong enough.
We reached out to the DNC for comment and to DeSears for comment, and we received this. Now, what's interesting is the DNC did try contacting our fearless OMG American Swiper, including sending her this postcard asking her not to do any more online swiping. The postcard was in English and Chinese, We're not sure why they invoked an Asian racial undertone in contacting our journalist. They also made anonymous phone calls in the middle of the night. To her, this all happened as the publication date of our groundbreaking story on the DNC approached. It appears as though these were attempts to intimidate or try to stop this report from being aired. But here at OMG, we are undeterred, always holding those in power accountable. And once again, we extol the brave journalist, the virtues of this swiper who got this story. She's incredibly talented and courageous, and we're sending her a check for the story. And you can do the same.
Wow. That's a whole movement, isn't it? That's tough. That's some new information. I just found this video not too long ago. Frank says Trump is a coward. He backed out. Everyone knows it. Frank. You remind me. You kind of look like that guy that got kind of look like the guy in the video. Is that him? You cut your hair, bro? Just asking, by the way. Might be you, Frank, might not. But if it is, I feel sorry. I'm sorry about you. I'm sorry about what happened to you, man. Maybe you cut your hair, you know, maybe that'll change the way you look in this video. But if that is you, Frank, I apologize. That wasn't me recording it. I'm just doing a reaction. Frank, sorry that this happened to you. I hope you get a new job, and I hope your career takes off after. Maybe you should like try to do something else. Politics might not be your thing, Frank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Very interesting video here. Wild. Trump wants to use this. I believe he should, because things like this are what should be exposed to the people. And once again, I don't doubt that this is probably happening on the Republican side for a lot of things. We know of a few lobbying and lobbyists, or we know both sides really uniparty stuff, which is why we only really have a two-party system that dominates the United States of America, which is something that Americans really shouldn't be so happy about. Just my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We will be back with another bigger and better video. Hope you guys enjoyed.